Alrighty.
What is up? We are going to. I always rub my eyes when I start every episode. I've noticed. Anyways, um, just don't know why. It's just my habit when I start these. Anyways, this is the commentary table. This is the Wrestle Babble podcast. Actually, we might change it to wrestling mats.
The wrestling mats.
um, Under the commentary table YouTube channel still. That's a strong possibility. Friend came in way late with that name, but anyways, we are gonna do what we always do and discuss Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and go from there. This was your typical show going into a pay-per-view weekend. Outside of the obvious, all the stuff going on over there, uh, but that's really about it. I mean, what jumped out for you tonight? Let's go. Let's start there.
Um, hmm. I don't know if I quite had anything quite jump out. Maybe the whole thing with Raquel and how they're going to work that because Liv being out. They have the ability to keep the tag team titles in the faction, but pretty much you gotta put Roxanne in there and disrupt the flow of everything.
Well, I
Like that
mean,
doesn't exactly jump out.
they are. I don't say hinting at it, but they're hinting at the possibility still. That that's the obvious choice there. And then when Raquel was about to get, I think it was riptide by uh, Ripley, Roxanne jumped on Ripley's back and kind of made the save and
Yeah,
pissed off Ripley. So I mean, obviously they're still hinting at the possibility that Roxanne could start winning over more members of the Judgment Day. And it's still there. That whole scenario is still there. So, and they've hinted at it more, which makes sense. That's probably the most story-driven thing that happened tonight, in my opinion. Honestly,
probably. Um,
but a good match, but and it with Breaker and Penta. But story-wise, all it did was lead to Seth saying, "Hey, this is your one warning. Don't screw with us."
yeah, I'm trying to
Uh,
get him to back off, but the whole time he's like, "No, no,
yeah.
I would
No.
not back off." Like, okay, well, so this part's kind of meaningless
Yep. Yep.
because he's
Uh,
almost taking it more like a taunt than
uh,
to like back off.
yeah. Like you're not going to intimidate Penta, and that's kind of what he's getting at. But then it does kind of come off just kind of silly. What else happened?
Uh what was it? Well, we set up tag team titles from the New Day being put up for Finn and JD. I believe that's for next week.
Yes, yes. I was trying to think of exactly what they said when they were talking. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Don't you say it! Don't ah! And they leave. New Day's still fantastic. They want to do a photo shoot, and Pierce is slowly going through the fact he's going to make them a match, and they're just no, don't do it, no. And Pierce ends up doing it, and then they walk off all angry.
Oh, match!
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the titles. You're kind of uh,
Mm-hmm.
you don't get to just hold on to them.
And there we just see Waller. So I wonder if it's like the official "this is over with Austin Theory" type of scenario.
Yeah, it looks like it could be. That's like the first time we've seen him just kind of alone with them, other than them
He's been
trying to
alone, and
split
then
him up.
Theory would walk in sometimes, type of
Yeah,
deal, and that didn't even happen. So
but it wasn't like those times weren't exactly like he was wanting to be just there with him with the New Day alone. It was more like they're in his ear sort of a thing.
yeah,
Austin Theory shows up, so a little bit different.
yeah,
I don't know what else we could really say stood out. Well, as you had brought up while we were actually watching it, Jade stealing Cody's finisher and going like, that's normally a heel move. Why is he doing that? So that was a little
Yeah, he went to it a
different.
couple times. It set up the exchange pretty well. That was good, but it was weird to see Jay go for the crossroads. Don't really see a point on why he did that, but
Yeah, like I
outside of
thought
the fun reversal battle they did.
I thought today were like, you don't normally see like a face versus a face too much in the rare occasions like Stone Cold and The Rock. Um, so it's almost like you tried to turn one of them heel to verse each other, and I could see it a bit more with Cody, but I kind of I kind of see it as like their fan bases would just kind of stick with them and side with them
Yeah,
if you
and
do
this
it the right way,
yeah,
and
and
then there's not really a heel
there
effectively.
there never is when they're that over. I mean, even you had that kind of stuff played back and forth in the Rock and Austin matches and stuff like that, and it just is what it is. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they were like, hey, Austin Rock, Hogan Rock did stuff like this, and the crowd kind of ate it up. At the same time, they had a good idea. That was the cleanest reversal I've ever seen of the Crossroads, is to counter it into you doing the Crossroads. It was pretty slick. So they probably just had the
Yeah,
idea and wanted to do it. But it did feel weird for character development. But
yeah, but they made up and were friends afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it's a little weird putting them in that. I mean, if they were gonna put them in that situation, it's like why wouldn't you do it in the finals and not in the semifinals? But I guess then again, uh, it's not like it's over for Cody for that situation because now he has to go against Randy in the finals.
yep.
He's got to go like through two friends just to win this thing.
Yep.
Ugh.
Wow. Today was very draining. Bear with me. Um,
Yeah, I'm a little yawny too. And this
so
little yappy dog won't shut up behind me.
yeah, I didn't bark at all during Raw.
Yeah, and I was like hyped up playing with some toy and just barking at it like it owes him money.
Right. So, but yeah, we didn't really. I'm not surprised by Cody winning the match. The next big one that you could say happened, I guess, the next biggest thing story wise, progressing somewhere, what would be the Becky Lynch Bailey Lycuria match, because there was some story involved with that. We see a split developing between Lycuria and
Yeah, there's kind of a three-way
Lycuria.
dance
Did I
kind
just
of
combine her
thing.
two names? Lyra Valkyria. I combined her two names. What
Yeah,
the
you
hell's
kind of did a
wrong with
little
me?
bit. Oh, puppy's getting big.
Yeah,
Big
puppy is.
puppy. Big puppy. Okay. Okay, down we go, puppy. Maybe if you stay in here biting my fingers, you're not gonna bark constantly. God.
Right.
But yeah, you kind of
Yeah, I don't even know how
combining
I
her
did
names
that. But yeah,
together.
so
That's talent.
Lyra, Becky, and Bailey, with the split between Becky and not split between Becky, but Bailey and Lyra, uh, going further because Lyra supposedly gets the emotions get the best of her and she gets Bailey DQ'd and doesn't understand why that's a bad thing. Apparently,
Yeah. Well, you're
I don't even
interrupting
understand why
my
that's an
match.
argument. Like, you know what happened, you know what you did, and you know how you screwed him. How are you confused how this is a bad thing? Like, I don't understand. Like when they just did this exact same storyline with Ripley and Io,
Yeah.
Ripley immediately realized that she screwed up and was sad. You know what I mean? Like she realized, oh, I cost Io this, and that's how we had the Io versus Ripley scenario for Io to win the belt in the first place. All
Yeah.
because Ripley accidentally got Io disqualified. But now Lyra comes in, does the same thing, but is oblivious to the fact that this cost Bailey a chance at the belt.
She's doing an experience. I don't know. Uh, I don't know. She.
Anyways,
I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Um,
we just did this though. We just did this.
I know, but now we can do the same thing but different. So
Thick-headed? I don't understand.
yeah, essentially. Oh, you're not using squeaky toy. Thank you. Um, yeah, I think it was more just deliberate to make it just like a three-way battle, so it's not going to be just Lyra versus Becky again
Oh,
for the
definitely.
rematch.
But
It's just getting Bailey in there.
oh, getting Lyra. Yeah, Lyra back in there. Just now, I'm watching myself. Am I making it all one name again? Um, uh, because Bailey had her match. She was going for the belt, and in that scenario, then
Well, yeah, but now she got screwed, so then she's gonna make a case for her to be in the next title match with those
you could
two
have
in a
argued
three-way.
that she should have won the belt, and it should have been Lyra against her, anyways. This is a way to keep Becky in the scenario, I guess.
I
It's a way to
guess.
keep all three of them, I guess, in the same scenario. But
I I just saw
it
it
just seemed
as
weird because it's like, how does Lyra not understand what she did? That's the part that got me.
yeah, I know. There's some things that kind of take you out of it a little bit, where it's just like that doesn't make logical sense.
Yeah,
Well, they're not doing logical. They're just making a way to get a triple threat going for this belt. I think that's all it really comes down to.
without making Lyra completely seem like a heel, I guess, because
Yeah, just trying to go like, what did I
right,
do
instead of
wrong?
going, yeah, I did that. Screw you.
We both hate her, right? Now I get my title shot. You know, yours got screwed up somehow. We don't know
Yeah,
how.
we don't. Yeah, it's mystery. In fact, how that happened.
It's amazing. It just
Um,
happened. It's a biased ref. Hope I don't get that ref.
what else happened? We had the Queen of the Ring tournament, however, too. We had Jade and Roxanne Perez.
Yep.
Not a bad match overall. Um, uh, Roxanne's really, really good in the ring.
They
Jade's
did
getting
have
much better, but
they did have some beats in it where it was, to me in my head, it was looking like they were maybe gonna have Roxanne win it.
well, they're always
Just
going to hint at the possibility because Roxanne can't win anything because she can win any match at any type of thing. She can win it because they do love her and she is that good.
yeah.
My only downfall with this match was, and Jessica was trying to be real slick with it, but again, when Jade rolled her over for the pin, her foot was under Roxanne's shoulder. So Jessica, knowing this is the end, slides her hand under like she's checking to see if the shoulder's down, but also shoving Jade's foot out of the way so the shoulder can fall to the mat. So
Yeah, it kind of one of those things that makes you kind of go like, well, wrestling wasn't exactly their first choice when they're not realizing the basics of your opponent's shoulders. Both of them need to be down on the mat for the pin to count, or
see, it's
otherwise
one
it's
of those. That's
not
one of those
true.
details that sets you apart from being good and being great. She realizes that good is the pose, the dramatics, the dramatic like lean back, the facial expression, the acting part of the pin. She nailed all of that, but she missed the small detail of where her
You're not
foot
really
was.
pinning her.
Right, exactly. And so,
You don't actually have a pin here.
yeah, that's so she's doing fine. Just that's something that hopefully someone pulls her in the back and goes, loved everything about it. Just if you need to take a second, check your feet, check their shoulders, like you
Yeah,
really would in a real situation.
yeah. Because the ref did the best thing she could think of. Because the only other thing I could think of that's going on is just like both her shoulders aren't down. This isn't a pin.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
You literally
don't
just have to
like
tap Jade on the shoulder and be like, your foot's, she's still here because your
your
foot's in the way.
your foot's under her. She's not being pinned right now.
Right. So instead of doing all that, which
Nice pose, but nothing's happening.
right, um, and she was pretty slick about it. If you weren't watching, if you were doing something else and it was background noise, you might have missed it. So no complaints. She handled it well. She snuck that in there. But yeah, I looked at it and went, man.
I kind of missed it, and then you were saying like, "Oh yeah, watch the replay." It was like, "Oh yeah," shows it right in the replay, just fishing that
Yep,
foot out
it's
from
the
under her.
shoulder is definitely almost down. Swats the foot out.
Yeah, yeah, got her now. Okay, now
Yeah,
I can count 1, 2, 3.
yeah. So, but overall, not a bad match. I just don't feel like a lot happened. They had a 5-minute promo detailing Punk and Cena. Like, none of us know who Punk or Cena is or haven't seen their entire careers. Like, I
Okay. I did actually see that. At the time, I'm like, I don't think I saw that. No, I did, but I was so like, I've seen this a million times. I just zoned out
yep.
from watching. I just,
It came back from commercial to Rhea demanding a match, getting a street fight, to that package, to a commercial and two of the longest entrances ever. Like the last
yeah.
hour was pissed off Rhea that was entertaining, video package, probably last 45 minutes, entrances, and then about a 15 to 20-minute match. That was the last about 45 minutes of the show. Good match, don't get me wrong, but I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
interesting pacing. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever explain why the start time next week is 3 o'clock or whatever it is, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, I don't think they ever explained why. I'm still confused as to why, personally. Um,
Yeah, it is really kind of weird. They did.
better be Corey. Corey better be
Well,
on. As much as I love Pat, Corey better be on commentary. That's his home.
our initial thought was they were going to be in Saudi Arabia still for Raw, but from how you're looking up tickets, it's like, well, it's mostly sold out. So it's like they couldn't have just announced this. There wouldn't have been enough time to get that sold by
Right.
then. So
They've been planning to go to Pitt longer than I realized, at
yeah,
least. And
but
so
yeah, so at that it just leaves us at a loss of like, why is that timetable pushed up?
I'm sure there has to be something going on in the evening, but I don't know what it is. Sports
Like
are
just
done at this point. It's only
like
baseball.
like they got something like double booked. I couldn't imagine like they wrap like they can't like wrap up with wrestling and do something after that. What the hell would they do? They got a damn wrestling ring and a lighting rig to get out the way. Not
Right.
like all of a sudden have a concert.
Yeah, no, I have no idea what they no idea. And the WWE doesn't double book. They want something, they get it.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's like at least they got the day, if not more. It probably takes a while to set all that shit up.
There were like double bookings for like when they were NXT was traveling with like the Agora here and stuff like that, and no, that didn't stand. They don't double book. WWE
Yeah,
wants a building, they get a building. That's just how this goes. I mean, look at
yeah,
that. They announced New Orleans. They wanted Vegas. They got Vegas. Like it just they don't they just get what they want. They have the money to throw around to get what they want and the pool, and they do. So, um,
yeah. It's still interesting to ever find out the true details of why it went to Vegas again after the this last year was didn't go that well.
it was the highest grossing gate they ever had.
Yeah, because they made all the tickets astronomical, and then they had to panic sell the rest of them at the end.
I'm telling you, I looked at the ticket prices for that Raw in Pittsburgh because I was curious to see if it was a newly minted situation or if they've been selling for a while. And floors like not even floor, like I think lower bowl is like $400 a ticket, according to StubHub. It's insane for a
Yeah,
Raw. You're out of your
yeah.
mind. Who's doing this?
Who's setting these ticket prices?
Who's going?
Yeah,
So,
it is a big concern they're going to end up pricing out their fan base.
I mean, if people are going, then they're just pricing in the wealthy fan base that isn't affected apparently by a recession.
I guess.
There's that group exists, man. Let me tell you. You know, if you work at a Jaguar dealership or a Ferrari dealership, those people come in and pay cash, so they don't really care. And they
Yeah,
love to talk about how like salesmen for like Ferrari dealerships, so like the guy that comes in the suit, he's probably going to get a finance deal. He's probably going to be able to afford that Ferrari. He's like the person that comes in khaki shorts and a Hawaiian t-shirt and flip-flops, that man can probably buy 10 Ferraris. That man
yeah.
has reached the point where he wears what he wears because he can.
He doesn't need to dress to impress anybody.
Nope. That's
He
actually the
just
same thing that Mark Cuban has said as well. Is that one of the other Shark Tank guys asked him, why do you dress for lack of a better term, like a slob. Why are you in a t-shirt? And his exact words were, because I can. I put myself in a position where I can dress this way. And if you see someone in a t-shirt in a boardroom, that's the guy to impress because that's the guy with all the say.
Yeah, that's the guy with the money.
Yep.
The people with the suits are trying to not necessarily put on a facade, but at least put that out there. And the guy
And
in the
they don't
t-shirt doesn't
and
need to.
the guy in the, Hawaiian shirt can fire them. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Uh
You dress too nice. Get the fuck out of
well,
here.
I'm just they're trying to make sure that they seem professional enough for that, but the reality is the guy dressed like a slob in the corner is the guy that has all the power. So,
Yeah.
and by slob I mean probably a $500 to $1,000 Hawaiian shirt, just because.
Yeah, but comfier than wearing a hot suit on a
Oh yeah,
94-degree day.
yeah. In the sub-zero temperature office, I'm sure,
Yeah.
with sun reflecting windows and everything else.
Yeah.
But, anyways, we got way off track there.
Yeah, we did. Putting
Uh,
us in. Gone.
Not really our fault. There wasn't much that happened on this Raw, to be honest with you. Um,
Yeah.
they're just prepping for SmackDown and the show itself.
Yeah, Gunther coming out
Goldberg,
trying not to be scared of Goldberg, first just like, oh god, I'm next, and now just going like, I'm not worried about him.
it's not 1999 anymore, and he's right.
That's true.
I mean, Goldberg cuts his from an interview perspective. I don't know what to expect from that. I assume Gunther tries to help put on a good match and then gets the win. If Goldberg wins, I don't see a point. I don't see where you go with it. I don't understand. Says to me his last match. So if he wins, then he's gonna lie and say, "Hey, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make my little run with this belt and then lose it in no time." But back to Gunther probably because you're not gonna have Jay beat him. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, unless Goldberg just has this urge to put over Gunther. I don't know why else this match is happening. Doesn't make any sense to me. Or unless the Saudis really wanted Goldberg and they paid a shit ton. That could
That
be
might
too.
have been it, but
Because they love to request some of the older wrestlers. Because
wasn't the last time they saw Goldberg that horrible match with the Undertaker?
I
Where he
blocked
made
that.
himself
I blocked that. That didn't happen.
he made
It's not a
himself
thing.
concussed and he couldn't do the tombstone reversal thing. And
Yeah, neither one could do the tombstone reversal thing
Yeah.
well, and that went bad when
old fucking men.
Undertaker tried to do it with Roman Reigns. I couldn't think of his name for a minute. We haven't seen him
Yeah.
really, but yeah. So yeah, that needs to go away. That can't happen anymore. But yeah,
Yeah. Once those sort of mistakes started showing up, I hope that was finally the sign for him to go like, okay, I'm too old, I can't do it anymore. And I love the Undertaker, by the way. I'm wearing a goddamn Undertaker shirt as we speak. So not like I don't love the guy, but
I'm
man,
wearing indie wrestling.
he got to the point where I just had to be like, please stop wrestling. Stop doing it. You are too old. No one's telling you you're too old because they respect you too much. They want you around because you're great advice. Like,
It was a big payday too. There was a big payday. I think it was it him and Shawn Michaels and somebody else. It was I think one of the first Saudi shows, and they were handing out a ton of cash. And I remember him. I didn't see the entire episode he was talking about this on, but he talked about how like he and I think it was Shawn and somebody else were like, we don't need to run this match. We don't need to practice this match. We don't need to. We can do this in our sleep. And he's like, once they left that ring and they were heading back to the locker room, is when he was like, that was awful. What did we just do? Like that's when it clicked that like maybe we don't got the same step we had before. Maybe we should have rehearsed some stuff because we ain't quite got that same it that we did in 1997.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's a match for Saudi. That's what it is. It's what they want. I assume Gunther will win, and we'll go back to Jay going after him.
Yeah. Uh, I think as Undertaker got older, I think old man Undertaker. I think that's the years I would have liked to seen him as the American Badass. When it's just like, okay, well, you can't really do the old things that you used to do, but you can just be kind of like a, kind of like a biker bar fighter kind of a guy, where it's just
Right.
like, okay, well, put your game more kind of like on the ground and put up your dukes and do it that style. I know how he felt that he had to reinvent himself during the Attitude Era, but I don't know. I felt like he should
He
have
left
just
the
jumped
Attitude
in.
Era and went into the Ruthless Aggression Era, and that's somewhere where, with Roland coming out, because I think he came out to that a couple times as the American Badass too,
Yeah,
and then American Badass.
yeah.
Thought,
American Badass, I think, ended up being first, but I mean, he came back as the American Badass during like towards the end of the Attitude
see, I
Era.
always thought he came out to Roland first because I know that Limp did the one WrestleMania, but I could be wrong. Like they were the musical guest that actually played on the stage for
I,
WrestleMania early on. So
Maybe I got it reversed.
I was tailing off at the around that time because that was 2001, 2002. And
Oh,
then I
when
remember the American Badass actually started off with the "He's Here" thing, right?
Yeah, but I think it was right after that it went to I am American
Right.
Bad and all that. I think it went through that beginning. Now when he first came out that one pay-per-view and went around the ring and mopped the floor with like what was it? It was like part of DX and the corporation.
Probably.
He was hitting everybody. Um that he didn't have anyone's music on it. It was just like something kind of custom made. Um and then once he started coming out with it was either American Badass or Rolling.
I
But
probably was. I mean, I know obviously American Badass was his song, but for some reason I just thought he'd roll in at least once.
well, he did Rolling. I think as soon as Limp Bizkit dropped their second album, it would have been.
Okay.
I think.
But yeah, um, that makes sense. But he probably reinvented himself because he thought he was at the point of his career. And this is hard to say, only he would know. But maybe he felt like he was at the beginning part of the back nine, like he had just crested and was going to go that route and never expected to wrestle until he was 60 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I guess maybe he would have felt that way.
Maybe he's like,
I
okay,
mean,
that was a good time to become the American Badass and throw punches and do this. And then said, I'm not in the back. I'm not at the end of my career, but I'm going to go that direction soon. And then he wrestled for like another double his career or whatever after that point.
I kind of thought he would have had more to do with like the Ministry of Darkness, but they didn't seem to ever want to put like any of those people in it over. They would just kind of use them as like heels to just beat up on and get over on. So if they would have done other than like the acolytes, I mean, they came out of that and but they did that kind of on their own and became their own thing because they were an amazing tag team, the two of them.
Yeah, they were also good at their segments. I don't know who came up with that idea, but the door for the
Oh,
APA was
yeah.
the
Well,
door and Dam carried the foundation of it, and the team was just good as well. But you needed to have those other moments back then to stick out.
yeah. I think when they started doing the whole backstage thing with the door and all that, I think that was all the Undertaker was gone before he reinvented into the American Badass. It was just like, well, it's still the acolytes, but the Undertaker hasn't been seen.
Right, and so they were still just badasses. So they were
Yeah,
just like, yeah, we'll be a protection agency. Why not?
and they just went into their own thing.
Yep, it was
Now
genius
that's a
though.
good. That's a
Genius.
great way to evolve.
Yeah, that was genius.
Go from like two minions of the Ministry of Darkness into just like we just bar fight
Yeah,
and protect
and use the
people for
door. What are
money.
you born in a barn? What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
There's a door right there, man.
yeah, they're a door.
Yeah, what's wrong with these people? It's fantastic. They were a very hard hitting comedic group, and that was fantastic because
Yeah,
it was funny, and then they knew that they would clothesline your head off your shoulders as well. So, um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just wasn't impressed with this episode at all. I didn't dislike it. I just looked at it like, all right.
It's the raw prep work before you have a PLE.
But
One of those things.
a PLE that's not going to do much.
Yeah, because we know titles aren't going to change hands.
Well, that's Saturday night main event. But yes.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess with the Saudi thing, I guess you could see titles change hands, but not the Goldberg.
No, and the other one's Cena and Punk.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change hands either because
Nope.
I don't think they're ready to take that title off of
Nope.
Cena yet. I think they're just running Cena through people to eventually. I hope they're smart about the end and give someone that needs or deserves the rub at the end the rub. Like I still kind of go back with like thinking like it'd be cool if they did that to Jay because it would be like more legitimize him. With Cody, he's a. I mean, I said it last week. He's already a made man. Like, he don't need it. I mean,
I mean,
sure,
you have to switch Jay's shows and everything else to do it.
I know. We covered that all last week.
Now,
Our
the one you
podcast
could
came
do
on
it,
my
the one,
headphones today at work.
the one you could do is, but you better start the build soon. Is Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah,
That would be the big moment that he's the guy who saves professional wrestling. You could argue someone who's been a pure wrestler, someone who's not very big on theatrics and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and not a whole bunch of fancy move sets and you could argue that he would be one that fit the mold for what's gonna stop Cena from ending wrestling as we know it. But Sammy needs more build than this, and we're running out of time. So I don't know if that's actually a logical answer, but it'd be a bigger surprise. Be a bigger. I mean, right
yeah,
now it feels like Cody.
yeah. I don't like that. I mean, okay, it'll be great for all the Cody crybabies, I guess, to rehash Rock's line, but I don't see how it helps anything. Like Cody doesn't need that boost. He just doesn't.
I don't think anybody needs the boost. I think for this one,
Well,
me personally, like to me, this one is more about how we end Cena's career more than the other person's boost.
I guess so, but wrestling, all they always talk about that, like doing the job for the next people. Go out on your back and
Right.
cough up a title. I mean, you just look at how they ruined the Undertaker streak by like having Brock beat him. I mean, I guess it would make sense, like, oh, if anybody could be Brock, but it's like it felt like such a waste. It seemed like it was so much better for Roman to beat him, but at that point, he already got beat by Brock, so it was like once it got to Roman beating him, it was like pointless. But it could have meant something.
Right.
They squander some of these opportunities.
Well, I'm sure Vince's thought process with that was how do you continue to elevate a character like Brock? And the one way you can do that is by having him beat the streak. Now, does
Yeah, I guess.
I it's the sad part is it makes sense for Brock to win, like psychology wise and everything like that. It makes sense physically,
Yeah,
but it doesn't have the same value as if, say, before he passed away, late Bray Wyatt was the one who beat the Undertaker, or if, um, if Roman would have done it when he wrestled him. But even Roman, see, there are certain characters that they use. I mean, I don't know. What I'm getting at is you have two options with the streak, and that is A, to catapult someone into that stardom range, or B, take the invincible guy who's done everything and just nudge him a little further, because how else do you nudge him a little further? And that's what they did with Brock. They took the invincible character that's done everything and they found something that no one's done before. So they just elevated his character by that much, but they could. Because what else would you do at that point to make Brock more than he was already at that point? That's what I'm trying to say. Um,
Yeah.
I agree.
No,
I would invite somebody
I
else to
see it
do
that
it. Don't
way.
get me wrong, but I guess the more I sit here and just brainstorm about it, I could see why or how you would give it to Brock. I don't think it's the best move, but I could see why. Because what else? How else do you make him better? Like, how do you else make Brock any more infamous? He was out of stuff to do. He
Yeah.
won all the stuff. There's nothing left.
Yeah, there is a bit. That is a bit of
So
a
he beats
point.
the streak, and now, boom.
It already hit 40.
Mm-hmm.
So was it 41 and one,
Oh, was it? Maybe.
or was it 40? Like, it sort of makes sense that it's like he hits 40 and then okay, well the next one he loses at 41. But I almost think the streak was 41 and one.
I don't remember at the time. Not a clue.
But
But yeah, I. So yeah, as all that relates back to Brock, Goldberg, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't see the point of this match.
at have a match to retire Goldberg.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
I mean, he's is it
It makes
for the
no.
title or is it just a match?
It's for the title, I believe.
What? If you're retiring, why the fuck are you going for the belt? What, to just go like, I won it and I'm gonna lay it down here?
All the true real wrestlers will leave with the belts this year.
Yeah, yeah. I'm ruining wrestling. Wrestling's next.
You did it
Cause,
back in '99.
cause,
Stop trying.
cause it's mine.
Right.
Wrestling, that is.
Because it's next.
Yeah, because
Like,
it's
stop
next.
going in circles, man.
It's mine.
Side note, I went to a card show this weekend, a small local one, and I didn't find a whole lot wrestling related, but I did find this, like, New Japan made I think that might be centered on your camera.
I will actually looking at your stream to see it
Oh,
instead,
I'll go back to here.
which is why I had yours up in case you started showing any of this stuff.
Right.
I
Well,
can
this is
see
only
on the
wrestling
big
related.
one.
So it's a playing card of a game. I don't know for sure, but this, I expected to find like maybe a Buck or Omega.
Cody?
Osprey.
Oh, Osprey. I couldn't tell with all the language I can't read on there.
No, I actually tweeted out that I'm 99% sure this is the coolest find ever because I'm only 99% sure it's Osprey. But yeah, Osprey would wear a lot of green in his stuff, and I'm 99% sure that was him. But yeah, I can't read the Japanese writing to confirm
I
either.
can't really tell if it was green on there.
It's like a green and brown.
white and gold, but okay.
Yeah, it's a muddy gold. I'll give you that, I guess, but it's definitely very
Okay.
muddy. But
A little bit hard for me
attack.
to tell.
It's got 2 attack and 4 defense. I don't know what this game is, but I'm curious. But I wanted the Osprey card, so I got it. That was they had Red Shoes too, which is the famous referee for New Japan.
Oh,
Named that because he wears red shoes while reffing.
yeah, that was pretty
Pretty on the nose.
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had rough red shoes. I'm like, I bet he wears red shoes.
That's crazy. I know.
kind of
So,
giving away the plot there.
so far, this has been a real short podcast, but we have derailed several times already.
I think if anything, that's giving it length because this Raw was just.
It wasn't bad. It just
it was-
wasn't anything. It was exactly
wasn't-
what you would think it was. It was very vanilla.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular. It really didn't just like set up really anything because everything's already kind of set up. But the only inkling of anything is what they're gonna do with the New Day after Liv's getting hurt, and that's the only thing that's like
Judgment Day.
speculation. What the fuck did I say?
New Day.
I said New Day. Judgment Day. Yeah, thank you.
I was like, wait, when is Liv going to join the New Day? I was really confused.
Oops.
I'm like, oh wait, I got to go back and rewatch it. Maybe I'm shortchanging Raw. Maybe I missed
You gotta take
something.
day out all these factions. Damn it, too many.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It's
days.
That day. Fuck off with your days.
Baron Corbin's finishing move used to be the end of days. They like day a lot. Karrion Cross is going to
Like,
get used, which is nice.
yes.
Because there was a thought
Um,
that he left main event because he was on main event, and that was going to be a send off because he had Scarlett jump up on his shoulder, and they kind of like walked out to a pretty good applause. But he got some new merch, and seems to be going with against Sammy. So good for
I
that.
mean, I mean, he got cheered as hell when his face popped up on the screen tonight.
He's
So for
over.
the
He's super over. It doesn't mean they don't cut
yeah,
him.
Duh. You got a potential for a superstar here.
They'll still cut
Fuck
him.
it, fucking run with it. Don't fuck this shit up.
Yeah, don't. It does seem like they're going to give him a chance to have another, at least a little bit of a run here with Sammy. So that's good.
Good God. Um, that's who you have to take the belt off of Cena.
Cross.
Cross. You build it up like, oh, this fucking industry's rigged and all this fucking shit, and here's fucking Super Cena, the fucking bullshit one that always fucking wins in, keeps the title over all these dumbass reasons. It's all just fucking rigged and faked and against everybody. And here he is complaining that's rigged in his favor. I don't know. You can go all sorts of ways with him going like it's fucking rigged, or it's fucking everything he's been complaining about. Where it's just like, yeah, it sits back here just wanting to be used, and they just sit us back here, don't give us a fucking chance. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
mean,
way you could go with it.
it'd be fun. They're not going to do it. That'd be fun. I'm not against it.
The only thing else I can think with like your Sammy idea, like you don't like there's not enough time. I mean, if he like really beat the hell out of one of Sammy's buddies to get Sammy all amped up to like I gotta defend my friend that you kicked the living hell out of, whether it be Jay or Cody or
I mean, they already screwed
you name
Cody.
it.
He only seems to come
Yeah.
out to save Jay.
Well, maybe that's it then. You run Jay at Cena and he loses by Cena using heel tactics, and then you send Sammy at him on a swerve and win it and take it off Cena.
Ooh.
I don't
Oh
know,
God.
but yeah, they gotta start coming up with something.
Agreed.
But
Because right
I
now it's
mean,
very bland milk toast, whatever you want to call it, boring. Cody gets there and wins it back.
yeah,
I
and
do think we see The Rock before the end of this. I think we
I
have
hope
to.
I hope that God, because otherwise it's like, what was the point of any of that showing up at the Rumble? Like what? Just a waste of our time pretending like, oh yeah, we're always just having a long storyline. We're planning this out way in advance, and then you don't show up and Cena's gone, and he's retired, and it plays out with the title, and it's like, okay, well, where the fuck were you? You
Oh, no,
this
he'll
was
come
your guy
back.
now.
He'll come back in 5 more years for a rematch of all of it.
Oh my god.
No, I don't know. I think there was a change of plans along the way, is what happened. But I feel like to start this thing with the turn because of The Rock, to not have The Rock show back up by like say SummerSlam or whatever the belt situation changes hands. I don't know why you would start it with The Rock then. Like that doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah, I don't know why you do this drawn out thing like, Cody, you're my brother. I want you to be my champion. And then you just give Cena the word to like, okay, execute him. He didn't join us. And then you fuck off. It's like, what? What is the point of that?
right,
There's no point.
nope. Well,
All
he'd
right.
argue that he got his champion, which is Cena.
Yeah.
He had no other business to do. It'd be what his argument is. Which is
And
why I
right
said by
now,
the end of this, he has to be back. Once Cena has a threat of losing the belt, he has to be back.
yeah, right now all they're doing with Cena is just running him through people and just going like, Okay, well, we'll see all these matches. You want to see Cena go against these people, and they're just gonna lose, 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 lose.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that like The Rock shows up with a more Cena-esque bad guy that screws Cena out of the belt, and then Cena goes back against the establishment again and helps
Or
someone like Cody or Jay win the belt.
or you gotta almost go like the Attitude Era ways, where it's like, say, like,
Music hits and they just clear out the entire locker room. One person
well,
destroys everybody.
I was gonna say more like, your they say they have a match, whether it be CM Punk this time, and oh, he wins it from Cena, but then like the next night on Raw, The Rock comes out and goes like, no, that didn't count. Cena's still our champion. That was BS. Some like Vince McMahon screwing Stone Cold
Right.
sort of a way, and making The Rock show up and actually be like, you gotta be a part of this if he's gonna be your champion. You gotta basically be cheating for him to win and stay the champion, and basically just
Yeah, right
keep
now it
being the
feels like
trump card.
Rock started the story and then just handed it to Cena and said, "Hey, I don't feel like doing this anymore. Figure it out." And Cena's
or
like, "I
or
guess I
just
want to ruin wrestling." Like
or
that's
or just butted into the story and went like, I want to be a part of this, but just for one night. And then he had something that wasn't gonna like some other obligation that showed up around WrestleMania time. He's just like, oh, I can't make it. Good luck.
yeah.
So,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
if this plays out with The Rock not coming back and being a part of any of this and making it make even the vaguest amount of sense or logic at all, it's just I just say just shit on The Rock after this heavily. Just like, why did you even bother showing up?
Right.
Period. Like, it's like, either be here and be a part of it. Sure, if you're going to be part time and for like the big shows and be part of the storyline, fine. But if you can't bother to show up, stay fucking gone.
Right.
Let's forget about you.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's about enough for me tonight. I think that'd be a good place to
That's
end
a
it,
good
unless you got
closer.
something
And I
else.
got nothing else because there wasn't much to it. So
Yeah.
kept it under an hour. I'm tired. I worked outside and it was a bazillion degrees. So not outside, but doors were open and stuff. So it was still 90 in the damn shop. So I have
Yeah.
got nothing left in it. So I apologize for, dying during the entire podcast. But
No
um,
problem. It was a hot ass day.
yep. And another one tomorrow.
Yep. And then after that, all week.
I got rain in 80s.
Rain in like 87.
I got
So
rain in
we'll
83
see.
on Wednesday.
83 on Wednesday? I got much higher than that. Well, okay. My thing might be wrong. Who knows?
I'm hoping yours is wrong. I'll take mine over yours. I mean, I'm not saying
Uh,
it is, but I'm gonna hope.
I'm biased towards the Weather Channel. So if you're doing local, yeah, that could be a bit more correct. We'll see. I hope it's less heat.
But all right, it's been fun. We'll probably be more alive and more in tune with what's going on come next weekend because hopefully more stuff happens after SmackDown and Night of Champions and then another edition of Raw. Hopefully more has happened, but not much happened. If you did not watch tonight, you did not miss much. You missed
Yeah.
Jade licking Roxanne's face and a pissed off Ripley. That's about it. Oh, and Dom got hurt somehow when no one knows how.
Yeah.
So he hurt his ribs. So who knows?
Huh.
That's your recap. That could have been the podcast. I apologize right off the bat. That could have been the podcast. But it's been fun. We will talk to you again next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.